reason why we built FAPSCO is to unite the Filipino online professionals industry, to also promote collaboration with each other, and of course we wanted to help produce skilled online professionals, specialists, and of course leaders.
We've created FAPSCO with a vision to become an organization that supports all Filipino online professionals to be successful in their online careers and businesses, regardless of their affiliations.
I joined FAPSCO because as an online professional who's working at the comfort of my home, I needed other individual can share with me on this freelancing journey.
The reason why we have built the Filipino Online Professional Service Cooperative is to help the ICT graduates, aspirant freelancers, and this is also to help them develop, explore, and acquire new skills when it comes to online professional industry.
Ang paglambo o kalampusan sa usa ka organisasyon nagadepende sa kalidad sa mga miyembro o mga lideres niini. Ang FAPSCO dili lang adunay maanindot kayo nga advokasya o misyon na matabangan kitang tanang mga online professionals na magkahiusa, mulambo o mutubo kita sa atong pagpanarbaho o pagnegosyo online.
FAPSCO for me is a digital opportunity for me to develop and share my skills.
I joined FAPSCO as one of the founding members because I knew FAPSCO is going to be backed by other veteran online professionals and freelancers, thereby having an experienced, solid, and passionate founding members that we have today.
I joined FAPSCO because the vision of the co-op aligns with my personal vision to provide much needed support to online professionals nationwide.
I joined FAPSCO because the people that I've met have the same values, mission, and vision as mine. And that is to provide assistance, free training, and coaching to those who wants to jumpstart their career as a freelancer.
I joined the FAPSCO community because it promotes collaboration instead of competition.
I joined FAPSCO because this is a group with a helping hand.
I wanted to be part of an organization that would be a pioneer group of individuals who will be working to promote online freelance.
Ayan, good evening to everyone. Welcome to FAPSCO friends and online professionals. Show is for you. So FAPSCO is brought to you by FAPSCO, the national-based cooperative for you and by Filipino online professionals. Please like our page, facebook.com/fapsco.ph, and you may also find us in Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn, or visit our website, fapsco.ph. So thank you for our partners, FAPSCO Media, FAPSCO SMM team, and membership committee. FAPSCO members, Filipino online professionals industry. So I would like to introduce tonight. My co-host is Ms. Michelle Rivera, and we have our guest for tonight, Ms. Estelle Dumanin. Kamusta po kayo lahat?
Hi, Burns! How are you? And I'm so happy to be here again mula sa pagpapahinga ng ilang linggo. So, I hope you miss me. At salamat kay Lizelle sa pagpapa-unlock sa ating show tonight. Guys, very special yung guest natin today gusto ko ipakilala sa inyo kasi she's not just been a friend to me, but she's been a part of a very special project that's very close to my heart. It's all about digital transformation. Hindi na ako papaligoy-ligoy. Burns, unahin na natin si Lizelle. Let me introduce, of course, Miss Lizelle Dunuan, Head of Resource Management ng Connected Women. Siyempre, team lead din siya ng Ideas Project ng Women Business Council of the Philippines. So, yung Ideas Project, yun yung pagkikwentuhan natin mamaya kung paano tutulungan yung mga MSMEs, mga Filipino MSMEs natin. Okay? Lizelle also brings with her 10 years of experience in program design, implementation, and management for nonprofits, including a national digital literacy initiative with both the public and the private sector, and several national training programs for elementary and secondary school teachers. Wow. Prior to Connected Women, she worked with the Foundation of Information Technology, Education, and Development as a senior program manager. Siya din ay isang freelance writer for several online magazine and news sites before joining Connected Women's remote team in June of 2018. In fact, isa siyang technical writer, guys, and I would love to be, of course, a student of her pagdating sa technical writing kasi hindi naman yan ang forte ka. Alright, she has also authored topic briefs in education policy and strategy for scaling EdTech in Philippine schools and going the last mile, equitable access to enabling infrastructure in Philippine schools, and a case study on the practice of education technology in Baguio City National High School. Ayan. And she also finished her bachelor's degree in communications with major in journalism in the University of the Philippines, Diliman, diba? She is a mother of 2 kids, a 17-year-old girl and 8-year-old boy, and she is currently based in, of course, the city of Pines, Baguio City. Lizelle, how are you tonight? Good evening.
Hi, Rosh. Hi, Bern. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to be back. No, I remember being part of this. Si Sherlane pa yung co-host mo. A few years back. Pero
actually, si Sherlane pa din. Kaya pinagpahinga ko siya tonight. Meron siyang ginagawang importanteng project. So,
Okay.
pag paumahinan mo kaming dalawa ni Burns ngayong gabi, kami ang kukulit sa'yo.
Okay lang. Good to be here.
Okay. So, Lizelle, si Burns kasi hindi siya masyadong familiar sa Ideas Project. So, I'm sure lahat ng maririnig ni Burns ay bago. So, Lizelle, ikaw ang maunang magtanong. Anong gusto mong malaman? What is Ideas Project and how it came to be?
The Ideas Project is a project that is being implemented in all countries of ASEAN. So hindi lang Pilipinas ang kasama, no? So kasi ang funding nito ay nanggagaling sa ASEAN Korean Cooperation Fund or AKCF. So lahat ng mga ASEAN countries, ang nangyari diyan is that AKCF and ASEAN approached all of the different countries, and in our case they approached the Department of Trade and Industry, no, DTI Central Office, at nagpa-nominate sila ng organizations na pwedeng maging implementing institutions ng Ideas Project sa Pilipinas. In the Philippines, they needed 2 implementing institutions kasi archipelago tayo, so mahirap yung iisa lang ang gagawa ng training. So ang nirecommend ng DTI ay ang Women's Business Council, which is long-standing partner and collaboration partner of the Department of Trade and Industry, and of course Bayan Academy, which is an NGO that specializes in training MSMEs. So kaya dalawa yung implementing institutions. Oo. So yung ganitong setup, 200 bawat implementing institution, 275 ang MSMEs na kailangan niyang i-train. And there merong the same target or similar targets in the different ASEAN countries. So kung 11 ang lahat ng ASEAN countries, merong 11 or more implementing institutions na nag-implement nitong Ideas Project sa iba't ibang bansa under ASEAN. So, yun yung niya.
Nice. Burns, I'll let you ask the question. Baka may gusto kang malaman about it.
Yes. Kasi I know it's ASEAN, and what's the main purpose and how does it extend help to the women in business here in the Philippines? Ano yung mga specific, does it help in startups or does it help on growth or yun.
Okay. So the project is really for a digital transformation of women-owned MSMEs. So yung micro, small, medium enterprises lang. Hindi kasali yung mga big and large enterprises. And ang purpose niya is to train the women MSMEs so that they can they're empowered to conduct business beyond the borders of the Philippines, primarily through e-commerce. So, kaya ang kanyang main purpose talaga is to help the MSMEs expand their market beyond the Philippines. So, ang karamihan yun ang kanyang main goal. And then ang kanyang beneficiaries of course are registered women MSMEs at the very least 2 years in operation. Pwede rin hindi registered pero may produkto na pinoproduce at merong produkto na binibenta. So, meron siyang ganung and then the purpose is to train and eventually help these MSMEs establish their online e-commerce presence. And the project itself, meron siyang pwedeng mag-participate na expo ang ilang selected MSMEs sa Korea. No, kasama yan sa kaya may sa ng project.
Such a great opportunities for all the females out there na mga SMEs. Ito na yung magbe-bridge ng gap na not only yung product or services mo, especially e-commerce, not limited to the Philippine market, but as well as the Asian. But kumbaga, as I understood, it's bridging the Philippine woman-owned business to the other Asian countries. So far po, may I know po kung ilang years na po ba ito nag-start or kailan po ito nag-start, and how could someone na just heard us right now could connect sa project po na to?
Nag-start siya officially 2023. Nagkaroon ng parang planning workshop sa Korea kasama yung mga implementing institutions ng March 2023. Actually, mag-iisang taon pa lang. If you look at it, no, kasi magma-March pa lang. Pero between that time, the March, marami nang nangyari. Kasama na doon yung pagpunta nila Roche at saka ng 13 silang mga trainers na karamihan, actually lahat pala, ay member or ka-network ng FAPSCO. Pumunta sila sa Korea, sa Seoul, para umattend sa isang training of trainers. So, nangyari yun noong July. Pero the project is going to run until 2026. So, matagal yung project kasi hindi pa nagsa-start yung actual na training. Yung actual na training we are targeting to start this coming May, no? And then mag-e-end yun. Lahat ng mga trainings dapat matapos na before the end of this year. Yun ang aming target. Tapos ang susunod na taon, 2025, will be dedicated to mentoring the trained MSMEs. So hindi natatapos sa training, meron pang continuous mentoring na matatanggap yung mga na-train na MSMEs.
Paano po siya mag-join for that kind of training? May website po ba puntahan or Ano yung
Pe-
mga
requirements.
qualifications?
Oo, yung requirements na sabi ko na kanina, no?
Oo.
Women-owned MSME, dapat at least 2 years in operation, dapat may produkto na pinoproduce at quality product siya at maaring makapasa ng export niya kasi we are looking at e-commerce, di ba? At pwede din silang manggaling sa iba't ibang parts ng Philippines. Dahil currently we have an open call for applications for trainees. So, meron kaming registration form kung saan dapat mag-fill in yung owner ng MSME. Oo, and then yung application form na yun yung basis namin for selecting kung sino yung papasa dun sa aming criteria kasi meron kaming hinahanap na criteria din. So, I can share with you the registration form pero meron ding para ma-share din natin sa iba. Ang isa ding ginagawa namin is yung mga trainers na nakasama sa Korea noong July. Sila din naghahanap ng mga MSMEs dun sa kanilang mga lugar para kasi yun yung magiging klase that they will be responsible for. So, ang total na MSMEs na kailangan makasama or matrain is 275. Medyo marami yun.
275. Ayan.
275.
Maraming mga kababayan. Please share the post po. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. I would like to ask a personal question po. Ano po yung pinaka nagustuhan mo sa project nito na ayaw mong ma-miss na mga businesswomen dito sa Pinas? Yung gusto-gusto mo sa project na sana they would really grab this opportunity because ito yung something great na makukuha nila. Yung personal.
Yung isa siguro medyo successful yung strategy na nagte-training tapos nagme-mentor. Kasi ang Department of Trade and Industry, meron silang kapatid Mentor Me, di ba? May mentoring program sila. At yung mga nagme-mentor sa kanila, mga experts sa iba't ibang fields, no? So, itong training na to, itong project na to, may expose yung mga trainees hindi lang dun sa mga basic skills tungkol sa digital transformation. Kasi nga, they will be taught how to make marketing products. They will be taught how to come up with a business plan. They will also be taught how to look for funding, yung mga ganyang basically everything that you need in order for your business to expand, especially if you intend to expand it in terms of market reach. Kasama na rin doon yung digital skills na kailangan at saka tools na kailangan nila matutunan. So that's one. Pero after ng training, may mentoring. Hindi sila pababayaan to do the things on their own because we know naman na ang usually yung mga dumadaan sa training, kailangan pa rin yan ng some form of support after nilang matrain. So, ang mentoring mangyayari after the training. So, yun yung isa sa mga I think advantage nitong project. And then of course, hindi din masama yung may chance kang makapunta sa Korea. If you do well, you will be selected as we will select 25 out of the 275. So less than 10%. Yung pinaka magagaling, pinaka ready, pinaka nagpakita ng capacity during the training and the mentoring. Yun yung dadalhin sa Korea para ipakita, showcase yung kanilang mga produkto. So, yun yung isa sa mga the mentoring and also the chance to showcase their product in Korea along with other ASEAN countries. Yun.
Yeah. Thank you. And watching with us right now si Miss Teen Baguios, Miss Rima Plomos Ramos. Hello everyone. Thank you for watching us. Ayan, kung may mga question kayo, please drop your question at comment section below. And yan, let's continue. So, ayun po. Miss George, may tanong ka po.
Sige. Actually, kausap ko din si Maylene ngayon. Siya yung CEO, CEO ng Women Biz PH. They are the implementing institution for this project. So, Lizelle, can you please explain to us ano yung mga magiging benefits pa ng mga participants aside from of course having the chance to go to Korea to be trained. Meron pa bang iba na hindi namin alam or hindi nila alam as of the moment?
Yung isa is I almost forgot pero importante din to. 'Di ba na-mention ko na hindi sila kailangang registered kasi or if registered man sila, but either they're registered or not, merong konting seed funding na ibibigay yung proyekto para sa bawat MSME na that should go to helping them with registration, helping them with marketing, etc. Ano siya, $100, pero for a small MSME, it can mean a lot and it can also pag-register ng business, 'di ba? Pag-register ng pangdagdag ng konti para sa mga marketing material nila, anything that they can use it for that is related to them promoting and expanding their business. So yun, isa yan. Lahat ng 275 MSMEs will be provided that, no? So long as they complete the training and also go through the mentoring.
Yan. Pwede ba nating i-mention kung ano-ano yung mga laman ng course, Lizelle?
I think that the course itself, first of all, talks about merong portion that talks about business continuity planning. Importante kasi ang business planning, 'di ba? Importante yung how do you plan for and prepare for when you expand your business. Nandun din yung digital marketing, no? So paggamit ng iba't ibang tools para sa digital marketing. So familiar tayo sa karamihan, pero itong training na to will give us step-by-step guides on how to make use of digital marketing properly. They will also be shown how to make successful marketing materials. So kasama dyan ang paggamit ng certain tools such as ngayon marami nang gumagamit ng Canva, kasi yun ang pinakamadali. Marami nang gumagamit ng iba't ibang klaseng tools. So, kasama yun sa iti-train sa kanila. Meron ding part ng training na nagtuturo ng security. Kasi, pag isa sa mga concerns natin when you're dealing or doing business online is to make sure that you are safe online. No? So, security sa level ng business mo, pati din yung sa pakikipag-deal mo sa iba't ibang customers, clients, no? And there is also a module on how to raise funds. Paano ka ba maghahanap ng investors? Kasi minsan hindi enough yung capital mo. So how do you go about fundraising, for your business? And that's part of what is there. So hindi lang siya technical skills. Meron din siyang tinatawag na soft skills na ituturo sa ating mga So if you take a look at it, it's mas very holistic yung kurso, the course itself. So importante na lahat ng mga components na yun ay present para maging successful din yung training.
Yan. Burns, alam mo bang may mentorship pa yan?
Yes, nagsabi po siya kanina.
Di ba?
As a training
Ikaw na ang tanong.
Yung mentorship kasi, importante yon kasi ang intention talaga nun is merong one-on-one, meron kang kausap bilang MSME. Minsan may mga tanong ka, nahihiya kang itanong during the training. Mas maganda yung meron kang kausap na, ay ma'am, paano ho ba to? Kasi minsan, 'di ba, we're shy din tayo minsan, lalo na pag marami yung nasa isang room or nasa isang ano. So, the mentorship is really intended to be more specific at saka targeted dun sa need ng MSME mismo. So, importante talaga yun.
Pwede po malaman kung ilang months yung mag-undergo ka ng training and ilang months yung mentorship para for all who's women watching here right now, they could check out the timelines that they would like to consider for this program.
Yung yung training mismo, gagawin siya by class. No? So, meron kaming tinatawag na class or cohort. So, yung isang klase na yon can consist as small, can be a small class as 25, can be as big as 30. Pero minimum yung 25 kasi sayang yung effort ng trainer, 'di ba? Ganon yung ano niya. So, bawat klase, 25 to 30. Ang isang klase will go through 44 hours of training. Is-spread out yan sa isang buwan. So, hindi siya yung tipong 5 araw sunod-sunod. Hindi siya ganon. At ito, blended online and face-to-face. So, hybrid siya. Meron tayong, sa isang buwan, ang isang klase will go through 3 days, tama ba? Oo, na ako sa numbers. Yung meron siyang face-to-face elements sa simula at sa dulo, no? Sa start at saka kasi importante yung building rapport and getting to know them. May face-to-face siya. Tapos in between the face-to-face, merong 4 na oras sa isang linggo, 2 araw sa isang linggo, na for 4 hours, online. Gagamit kami ng Google Classroom para nandun lahat ng resources, andun din yung tracking, doon din magsasubmit na outputs, etc. So, start, there's a face-to-face, and may face-to-face, lalo na during the closing and the graduation. In between, merong 2 days in a week na for 4 hours kung saan online sila. Ganun ang schedule na sinet namin kasi alam naman namin na minsan hindi kaya na 5 days straight. Kasi nga, may business yan eh. Pag hindi yan nagbenta, walang kita, di ba? So, alam natin yan. So, minimum they need to just spend a few days na para sa isang face-to-face. At yung face-to-face naman, gagawin yan malapit dun mismo sa kung saan sila located na probinsya o munisipyo. Kasi gusto namin na we want also to bring the training to them and not them going to outside of their municipalities.
Province. Halimbawa ako sa General Santos City po, meron dito sa Mindanao na available for face-to-face.
Kung sa Gensan, kung merong, ano bang region ng Gensan?
Malayo.
Wow. Sa dulo ko na.
Wala kaming trainer na malapit. Meron kaming trainer na malapit dyan, pero kasi, dahil the application process, it's really dependent on the concentration of the MSMEs in your area. So, ang posibleng, kung anong pinakamalapit sa'yo, kasi right now we are talking to Caraga, to the region in the area of Surigao del Norte ba
May
yun?
bukid nun yata, Lizel, no?
Meron. Sa dulo ng Mindanao po yan, yung Surigao.
So, may ganong areas. Gusto namin yung by area kasi ayaw namin na malayo masyado yung lalakbayan ng MSME para mag-training. No? So, the closer to them, the better. So, ang ideal talaga namin is a class is located at least in one province or one region. Sa Mindanao kasi, lalaki ng mga probinsya.
Yo kasi.
Ang lalayo eh. Kaya ang hirap din, no? So far, yun yung aming strategy. So,
Lizel, can you tell us the ideal entrepreneurs that will benefit for this project? Para kanino ba tong project na to talaga? And paano nila malalaman if this project is really for them? Kasi alam naman natin na 25 lang ang makukuha. 275 bale na participants. Paano nila malalaman that they will most likely qualify?
Ang pinakauna dyan, apart from them having a product that they've developed that is ready, or if they're already selling it, no? And then there's already some traction, ibig sabihin, nabibenta nila. Hindi siya yung tipong, or it has the potential to be sold. And also the potential to be exported. That's the other thing, di ba? Yung kailangan din yung merong potential na mabibenta mo outside of the Philippines. That's one. So the product, and also the other important thing kasi din is that dapat go-getter yung MSME. Kasi challenging ang pag-expand ng market. And they should understand na marami silang pagdadaanan. So, kaya dapat may mindset sila na matututo ako, gusto ko matuto. Kahit anong mangyari, kahit ano pang obstacle na nandyan, gagawin ko lahat para ma-overcome siya. No? Ganun, the mindset is important. Hindi pa yung mindset is important. Of course, the other thing is, if you have that growth and learning mindset, nandyan din yung hahanap ng paraan na magkaroon ng oras para matuto. Kasi yung 'di ba, sabi nga nila, kung may paraan, kung gusto, may paraan. Kung ayaw, 'di ba? So
maraming dahilan.
So like busy ako, ganun. But anyway, having a growth mindset and being a go-getter is important actually. And of course, coupled with having a product that is sellable, that is easy to produce, that is of good quality, di ba? Yun kasi yung things na it's something that you'll be proud to say, oh, it's made in the Philippines. Kasi nga outside of the country yung tina-target mong market. But we also understand that not all MSMEs may be at that level in terms of their product. No? Alam natin 'yon. Maraming pagdadaanan. Pero kung may growth mindset ka, hindi 'yon it shouldn't stop you from learning, 'di ba? Kasi if you stop yourself and say, ay, hindi pa naman maganda yung produkto ko. Wag na lang. Wala na, di ba? End of the conversation na 'yon.
Pagagandahin nga natin no?
If you say, ay, pwede pa kaya to? Baka kailangan ko lang ng ma-improve. Sali ako. And then, you will definitely get something out of it kung ganun yung mindset mo, no? So it's really not yung dapat perfect na perfect. We know for a fact na hindi naman lahat ng MSMEs natin ganun, no? So they should be open and they should have a growth mindset and a learning mindset as well, more than them having a perfect product that they already are selling.
I would like to ask, does it includes, I know product and service is different. How about the services po industry? Does it include,
Ang hirap
or
kasi
is it really tangible?
We're the project itself doesn't limit naman to what products or services you offer. However, there's one thing for you to, yung isang kailangan mo i-consider is depende kung ano yung service na pinaprovide mo. Kasi siguro one of the other things that na pwedeng maging ano dyan is that all of the tourism industry services, 'di ba? Your travel agencies, your what do you call this? Your resorts,
Digital marketing
your
services.
resorts, your things like that, no? So that may be a bit more difficult, but we are not closing doors or the opportunity to those who are interested. Minimum niyan gusto mo matuto. Yun yung pinaka-importante dyan kasi it takes a lot of commitment. Alam mo na, dahil na-mention ko naman kanina, 44 hours siya at hindi siya nag-stop sa training, may mentoring. So kung wala ka ding time to attend mentoring sessions, which by the way is it should take about mga 1 to 2 hours per week after the training, up until sabihin ng mentor sa'yo na ready ka na. Pwede na, di ba?
Handa ka na sa buhay mo.
Bahala ka na sa buhay mo. Joke lang. Pero, so, yun yung isa, no? Yun yung kailangang i-consider din. So, hindi naman namin sinasara sa services industry kasi alam naman natin na meron din. Pero, yun yung, as long as they're willing to learn and willing to put in the time to learn.
Yes. Actually, napakaganda nitong project na to, Lizelle. In fact, I'm wishing na hindi lang dito sa AP Wing to mangyari, di ba? Hopefully, ma-adapt natin siya on a national scale level, kung meron man, di ba? Or per local. Kasi yung DTI, ang alam, ginagawa na nila to. Kaya lang, syempre, hindi sa ganito kalaking scale, di ba? I'm not sure kung meron silang mga programs na tumutulong na dalihin yung mga products ng mga local MSMEs natin abroad or maybe ASEAN to the ASEAN market. But hopefully, kasi may nakita ko mga project ng DTI. And ang alam ko, ang DTI din ay kasama sa project na to. Tama ba?
Yes, oo. They are actually the main contact of AP Wing kasi nga because it's an ASEAN Korean project. Meron talaga yan sa government. So they are helping us and then of course DTI is endorsing us to the regional offices. So and then the other one of the tangible support that some regions or if not all regions can provide is of course to help us pre-select or identify MSMEs in their area na pasok dito sa project qualified. And then, pangalawa is for them to host the face-to-face sessions in their respective offices or training centers or etc. Kasi maraming facilities ang DTI. Alam natin yan. So, because they're partners in this project, we are hoping that they will, in most of the regions, they will be able to support us in that way.
Yan, very nice. Kwentuhan mo naman sa kanila, Lizelle, kailan to magsisimula? At saka meron pa bang slot? Baka naman puno na kasi 275 lang.
Marami pa tayong slots, ongoing pa yung ating selection until end of April. So, apply lang yung mga gustong mag-apply. And then, yung magsa-start kasi, magpa-pilot kasi tayo ng training ng May. And then, magkakaroon ng konting time para i-review yung materials kung after the pilot, no? And then, July yung official start ng ating training with the classes until November. So, baka mga 2-3 klase sa isang buwan para makompleto yung 275. So, the training, ang training ay yung naka-schedule this year. Yun yung kailangan matapos. Next year naman yung mentoring.
Yan, nakaka-excite. Burns, baka may tanong ka pa. Marami akong baon, pero ikaw pagtatanungin ko ngayon.
I just hi muna from kung si Tintin nasa Bataan, si Nur Salam Sultan nasa Lanao del Sur, ayan, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao na po ang nakakapanood ngayon joining with us right now. Good evening po. Ano lang po, wala pa akong maano. Kasi I would like to ask po in your, sa mga women na, kasi sa akin dito sa Johnson, so medyo talaga challenging. Kapag next year po ba, kasi nga to 2026, parang kasi I know that I cannot join right now because of Ma'am Kalay. Pero may expansion po ba of trainers na buong Pinas din reach out? Or parang iniisip ko kasi baka next year na lang ako 2025. Parang ganun. Yung trainers naman, nag-expand po ba siya? Yung opportunities doon? Or maglilimit lang talaga ako sa mga per clusters?
Well, as long as we're targeting the 275 and also, kasi 13 lang ang trainers ng project eh. So, parang hanggang dun lang talaga siya dahil hindi naman kasama yung, for example, training other trainers for that matter, no? So, hanggang lang siya, hanggang 275 and then 13 unless mag-decide ang AKCF na mag-expand. Pero beyond that, that's really how it is. Meron din kasing ibang trainers na nasa Bayan Academy, the same din sila, the same din ang setup. So sila naman 275 din yung women MSMEs nila. Yan.
So the total of 550 MSMEs ang magbabago ang buhay by 2026?
Yes.
I think naka-join ako sa Bayan. Naka-feel ko doon. Naka-start ako doon. I think, madami na ako master trainer na join. Ano po is, in your personal naman po na journey as 10 years in program design, implementation, management, ano po yung nagustuhan nyo sa ganitong mga klaseng advocacy na program that for someone who's ganun din. Kasi I think na belong dito sa social entrepreneurs. And sa mga nagsastart, ano yung mga lessons po ninyo learned na gusto nyo nilang mag-guide din po sila sa mga kung gusto dito itahak itong social entrepreneurs po?
Well,
in your personal career.
Well, una-una na ako mismo hindi ako entrepreneur. Or maybe I think I'm not an entrepreneur. Pero yung experience ko so far working with MSMEs, marami silang challenges, no? Yun yung isang recognition mo dyan kasi although they are the biggest sector of in all industries and enterprises in the Philippines, 90+% are considered MSMEs. Malaking sector sila, and then the rest is the big industries. Yung ano natin doon is where everybody is trying to help our MSMEs grow beyond where they are now. We are not targeting that although syempre gusto natin na lumaki sila, pero ang pinaka-importante kasi doon lumago. They grow. Because MSMEs are in fact one of the main employers. They provide jobs to people. They provide jobs to people in the countryside. Hindi lang yan tao sa mga cities. So parang ang ano niyan is hindi if you help them out, you are helping more, no? Parang may ripple effect siya. Tapos kung women-owned MSME pa yung tutulungan mo, mas marami ka pang matutulungan kasi women by their nature tend to spread their blessings to a bigger group. So kung kababaihan yan kung women-owned MSME yan na sinimulan mong tulungan, ang ini-employ niyan mga kababaihan din, mga kumare, mga pinsan, mga pamangkin, no? So, and then the same goes with those that they help. Nagre-ripple yan sa ibang tao. So, for me, kaya importante yung MSME na matulungan. At importante din na yung mga women MSMEs ay matulungan. Kasi hindi siya, they should not be left behind, basically. Lalo na sa mga bagay na to that have to do with digital transformation.
Thank you for that. Sige po.
Ayan, ako, ang dami pa natin gustong itanong. I'm sure yung mga nanonood kanina, nakikita ko na very excited sila. Kaya lang kulang na tayo ng time. So, Lizelle, meron ka bang gustong final message sa mga nanonood, yung mga hindi pa MSMEs pero may mga kakilala silang MSMEs na baka gusto mag-join? Ano ang pwede mong iwan sa kanila na, anong tawag dito? Parting message. Ayan.
Yeah, so if you want to join the project or want to apply to the project, go to the look for the Women's Business Council Philippines Facebook page. One of the posts for the application to the project is there, and you will see a link on how to register and also get an idea. When you click on the registration form, nandun na rin yung mga qualifications and requirements na kailangan para sa isang MSME na makasali. So, again, go to the Women's Business Council Facebook page. Search nyo lang Women's Business Council or Women Biz PH sa Facebook. Alam naman natin na lahat ng tao Facebook ang main source of information. Nandun sa social media page ang information about the Ideas Project, no, which is being implemented in the Philippines by Women's Business Council and along with the Department of Trade and Industry as its partner, no. And so yun lang siguro ang maiwan ko na message.
Yan, thank you so much, Lizelle. Burns, baka meron kang parting message para sa mga nanonood natin tonight. And syempre, alam ko na na-excite ka rin. Baka meron kang take away para sa show natin tonight.
Yes, it's very much. And I'm so inspired kasi nga we're we're bridging right now from Philippines to Asian. And this is great opportunity sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao nanonood dyan. Please invite kung sino mga kilala niyo na mga women-owned business owners kasi it's a really good opportunity to be trained and alam mo yung we're moving forward into a international arena. So if we really think na stagnant tayo sa business natin or we don't know what to do next or feeling natin, alam mo yun, we have kung saan man tayong environment right now, we can get out of our box. And this opportunity from Ideas Project would really help and benefit as well sa mga kababaihan. So please, ayan, i-drop po later after this yung link na registration. So please, register na po and share this video sa mga kakilala niyo po. Thank you so much.
Tama. Oo. Luzal, pahingi kami ng link. Wala kaming link.
Sige, I will send.
Hindi na kayo maghanap. Type na lang. Please, para i-drop natin dun sa baba ng video. Okay,
Sige.
so ako naman, sobrang excited ako at sobrang thankful kay Lizelle kasi alam ko, nakikita ko kung gaano yung hirap nila sa project na to. And I'm also excited for the 550 women MSMEs na matutulungan ng project na to. Hindi lang yung sa under ng women business but also dun sa bayan kasi we will be carrying the Philippine flag, 'di ba? Dun sa ASEAN market. And then merong 50 total of MSMEs na magkakaroon ng possibility na makapunta sa Korea para i-showcase yung Filipino products doon. So sana tulungan nyo kami to inspire more MSMEs, to encourage those MSMEs who are really excited to take their business into the next level. Sabi nga ni Lizelle kanina, hindi ito pang MSMEs na medyo takot. Kailangan yung go-getter, kailangan yung mindset mo, go for the win, palaging ganon, 'di ba? Kasi hindi naman din madali to really take your business to the next level, 'di ba? So kaya nga 2 years yung program hindi talaga siya ganon kadali. And hopefully nakatulong kami by sharing this with you, the project, yung detalye para kahit papaano meron kayong idea, ay meron palang ganong project. So thank you so much, Lizelle, and thank you also Women Business PH for taking this initiative para i-lead ang Ideas Project at syempre ang AP Wing, ang DTI at saka ang Sukmyum University na nag-host sa Korea ng project na to. Lizelle, anything else? Wala na?
I'm good. Thank you.
Alright. So yun lang. Thank you so much everyone for watching Fabs Talk. Meron na naman tayong isang Wednesday na natutunan. So hopefully, if you haven't liked our page yet, please go to Fabsco, facebook.com/fabsco.ph and give us a thumbs up, give us a like. And if you have takeaways for this show, please don't forget to share and tag your friends, especially the MSMEs, para mas marami naman tayong madala sa ASEAN market. Diba? So yun lang. Maraming salamat everyone and see you again next Wednesday for another wonderful show. Bye everyone! Lizelle, huwag ka muna nga alis.